Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her, and if you got some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm currently just sipping on a little bit of water right now. Just, hydration is important. So if you're somewhere where it's warm outside, please, please, please drink your water, stay hydrated, whatever you have to do because it's dangerous out there when it's hot and you're not taking care of yourself. So do that. Take care of yourself out there. Also, always close to my heart though, and in my heart and mind. And so it's my cup mug. I guess this is me by myself, so I can party by myself. Panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs for the claim to fame podcast. Claim to fame podcast. I can talk. Cup mug, my cup mug, my cup mug, my cup mug. All right, that's enough. um, but you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. Get your cup mug or any of our cup merch. Go check out the Etsy shop and get our cups. Check out our merch. Great stuff in there. So go check that out. That link will be in the description below. But yes, we are here. We are back, back, back to Talk Claim to Fame, episode 5. And everybody was still in a little shock after the last vote out of the last reveal from Naomi. So people are still a little shocked about that. Shocked that Adam got it correctly and shocked that Hood gave him the answers. But before we jump into that, I don't want to forget the business part of it. Hit the subscribe button here and and the notification bell so you know every time we drop videos. Here we are wrapping up Claim to Fame soon. We got Big Brother all the time. The Anonymous is coming, Survivor's coming. We got a lot of TV that's about to happen, and so we want to keep you informed, up to date on everything here about TV, reality TV. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Also, like I said, we are part of a network, so we have 3 other channels that you can go subscribe to and check it out. If drag race is your thing, we got a channel for you. If Eurovision Song Contest is your thing, we got a channel for you. And if wrestling, WWE specifically, is something that you enjoy, we got a channel for you as well. So let's get into it. I mean, so do those things. All those things will be in the descriptions below in our link tree. You can click on all of our YouTube links as well as our audio podcast links, so you can listen to us on the go, and as well as our Patreon, so you can get early access content across all 4 channels and exclusive content across all 4 channels. So you might want to check all that out. All right, we are getting back into it. So yes, like I said, everybody was still a little shaken by the reveal of Naomi's relative of Molly Ringwald. They were shocked that Adam knew, but found out that Hud told him, and now they're looking at Hud a little sideways, like, "Oh, you want okay? See what kind of player you are? Okay, got you, got it." Um, we see some conversations going on between Danny and Adam, and Danny was like still a little upset that he felt like Adam didn't believe him and wanted to see his clue in order to trust him. And he said that Adam had basically called him a liar because he wouldn't reveal his whole clue. And so Danny was like, I'll try to tell you. He showed him a little piece of the scarecrow of the clue. And he was like, I told you what I found and I told you what it is, and you didn't believe me. He was like, I didn't trust you because you didn't show me the whole clue. And so Daniel said, that was a stupid move. That's just being stupid. And he was like, don't call me stupid. He got really offended and triggered Adam did about Danny calling him stupid because he was like, you just don't know. Um, you shouldn't call, I don't like people calling me stupid. Um, I grew up and had um, in a in special needs classes. I don't like to be called stupid. And he's like, oh my God. Danny was like, now you're trying to guilt me. And it's, yeah, he was like, you don't have triggers. Adam was like, you don't have triggers. He was like, no, I don't. It's not like that. And he's like, you're trying to make me feel bad. And I didn't call you stupid. I said the thing that you did was stupid. But let me bring up my chart so we can always have a visual, a name to the face. But yeah, so they kind of was, oh no. um, Never mind. You didn't see that. um, so they had their conversations, their back and forth. All right, so I'm going to bring my visual back up the right way, and let's see if we can get that right. Right. Yes, I mean sometimes I make mistakes. It's okay. But anyway, um, Danny and Adam are going back and forth. They just a little stressed, a little ticked off with each other. Danny don't like to be called a liar. Adam don't like to be called stupid. I mean, fair for anything, for anybody. Nobody wants to be called a liar. Nobody wants to be called stupid. It's just fair. It's fair. Um, we do see that HUD is trying to play damage control because he doesn't want everybody to be looking at him um, with the side eye because he gave Adam the ammunition to get out Naomi. So he's talking to Shane, and Shane is giving him what the plan is. He's like, "Yep, that works. That works." They're trying to gun for Adam. They're like, anybody who's on Adam's team needs to sabotage it. If teams of three will sabotage it, and sink him so he'll be in the bottom. There we go. Mackenzie was down with that plan as well. She's a little um, she's still concerned that certain people might have her clue or know who her clue is. And so she's like, I don't know. I'm just we just gotta see what happens in this challenge. But I'm down with this plan to get rid of Adam because we don't really trust him. And yeah, they were gonna try to get him on out of there. So then we go to the challenge and we find out the challenge is the challenge of testing your senses. Um, you have some things you're going to smell, some things you're going to touch, some things you're going to hear, and some things you're going to taste. The only thing is you won't be able to see anything. So not seeing, just touching, you know, tasting, smelling, hearing. Um, so they went to the ball bag. Everybody grabbed the ball, and you were on a team with the person who had the same ball color as you. So on one team we had Danny and Mackenzie. The other team we had Shane and Diedrich, and on the last team we had Adam and HUD. HUD still trying to be in the middle, still trying to play friends with Adam, and don't want to tip him off that he's trying to get. He wants him out as well, but he's still trying to show like Adam, like he's loyal to him, but he wants to tell Shane and Danny and Diedrich and Mackenzie that he is willing to get Adam out if necessary. Um, so he's trying to like, well, I don't know, maybe we'll win this. I don't know if I want to win this, but they go through all the things that taste, like I said, taste and smell and hear and touch things. But the winner of this challenge eventually was HUD and Adam. They won with the tie with a tie between Danny and Mackenzie, but they had the best time, leaving our bottom two as Diedrich and Shane. So one of those two people will be the guesser. So Shane goes to work immediately. Shane goes to work. He goes to Mackenzie and is like, "Look, I know who it is. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the name, but all it takes is me asking a couple of people, and I will find the name for you." And she's like, "I don't need Shane to be the guesser," because he told her, he was like, "If I'm not the guesser, I won't initiate the conversation. But if you're voting for me, I'm going to initiate the conversation. If I feel the votes are coming my way, I'm going to initiate the conversation to take you out. And then he goes to Adam and Hud and was like, knowing that they are close to Mackenzie, he was like, I got Mackenzie's clue and I know who she is. So if y'all don't want her to go, you won't put me as the guesser because if you put me up, I'm 100% guessing her. And they're like, oh, we really like Mackenzie. We don't want her to go. So, putting Diedrich in as the guesser is the best thing. And so they were like, okay. Shane was pretty much good knowing he wasn't going to be the guesser at that point. But then we also had Adam and Hud going to the wine cellar to pull a clue. And Adam wanted at first to pull his own clue because he was like, if I pull my clue, nobody else gets it. Nobody will know who I am. But he knew he had to share that clue with Hud. So then I think he kind of got in his head and remembered, like, I don't want to share my clue with Hud either because if he guesses it, I become an easy layup for him. And I don't even want him to guess my clue. And so he decides because Hub was leaving it up to him, like, if you want to pull your clue, we can pull your clue. But then he was like, I don't know if I want to pull my clue. He was like, so let's pick the other one, which was Danny's clue. And so they decided to pick Danny's clue because they're like, we have no idea who he is. They picked the clue, and it says something about uh, v- v- please, if I'm pronouncing this, I think it's Vidi Vini Vici or Vini Vidi Vici. I might have it backwards. I know it's Vidi Vini Vici out of 3 words, but I might have them in crazy order. But that was one, and then it had falling for, and it said J Lo or low, like a low jack or low jack, low, low rider or whatever. And so they were like falling for J Lo, and it's been on the clue wall. It was a J hanging low on the clue wall. Um, so they were like, they knew this was a J Lo clue, and then they were like, the Vini Vide Vici, Vini Vide Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered, or and so they were like, that's a Pitbull song, but in the terms of where it originally came from, it was Julius Caesar who said that to to Mark Antony. Mhm. And so people they were starting to figure it out, and well, HUD knew it was somebody who was related to J Lo, but they knew it wasn't Ben Affleck because it was a singer, and knew Ben Affleck wasn't a singer. And so HUD went and called Mackenzie to try to get her help, and she was like, it was a ex of J Lo. It had to be because it can't be Ben Affleck because he wouldn't have won a Grammy, and he's not a singer. But she's been married like 6 times, and so it's probably one of her famous husbands who's a singer. And so he was trying to go back, and so then they went and called Diedrich in, and Diedrich was like, I know who it is. I just can't think of the name. I'm looking at his face. I see him. I just can't think of his name. And so then they had talked to Adam. Well, Adam and Hood were talking about it, and he was like, Mark Antony. That's um, who was married to J Lo, and so, but Hud didn't quite believe him because he was like, Adam, you just don't know nothing about nobody. And so the fact that he's saying Mark Anthony makes me believe it's not Mark Anthony. But then he walks into the kitchen, and Mackenzie and Dietrich had figured out what part of it. She was like, it's Mark something. I don't know why Mark Ronson was coming to her head, but she was like, it's Mark something. And he was like, Mark Anthony. She was like, that's it. He was like, that's it. She was like, that's it. It's Mark Anthony. So they told Dietrich it was Mark Anthony. And he was like, okay, okay. but he was still like, maybe they're not being honest with me, maybe they're trying to lie to me, trying to throw me off the scent of who I think it is or what. But he was very he didn't know where to go. But eventually, Diedrich was chosen to be voted as the guesser. Everybody voted for him, and he had a layup with Danny. They gave him the answer to because I know on this show I was like it could be Bad Bunny, but of course the wrestler was the lie with the singer and the Grammys is the truth. Um, I think he's like the nephew or cousin to Mark Antony. But at first I was saying maybe Bad Bunny, maybe the wrestler wasn't the lie, but it was the lie. Um, but we do see that Diedrich is the guesser, and he chooses to go after Adam. He was like, "I'm gonna target Adam." And everybody's like, "Whoa." Their plan was to try to get rid of Danny to break him and Shane up because he feels like Danny and Shane are the two people who are the closest and the smartest. And so Mackenzie and Hud wanted to break up Danny and Shane, and that's how they would help in Diedrich. But Diedrich didn't want to go along with that plan. He wanted to try to get out Adam. And so he brought out Adam and brought him up, and he was like, I think your celebrity relative is Owen Wilson. And he was wrong. He was very wrong. So it was like, oh. So when it was time to reveal Dietrich's relative, to nobody's surprise, it was Michael Jackson indeed. And he is the son of Jackie Jackson. Um, Siegfried is his name. Sigmund is his name. And so he's the son of Jackie Jackson, who is also famous in his own right because Jackie was part of the Jackson 5 after Jermaine left. Um, and so, Jackie had his run with the Jackson 5 as well. So he has his own, star celebrity status to him. People might not know him too much now. The young kids might not know Jackie Jackson, but they definitely know Michael Jackson, and they definitely know his other celebrity relative, Janet Jackson. Um, he just has his whole family's celebrities, if you want to be honest. Um, all the Jackson 5 brothers, Jermaine, Tito, Jackie, Marlon, and then Michael, of course. And then Janet is a celebrity in her own right. Latoya had her run at celebrity. Um, and even the older sister Rebe had her own uh, stint of celebrity when she did a solo record or whatever. If you know the Jacksons, you know. If you know, you know. But his claim to fame was Michael Jackson. Um, of course, the more one of the most famous Jacksons out there. Global phenomenon, global superstar, internationally known. Michael Jackson, he's the king of pop. I mean, duh. But we all knew that. We pretty much guessed that pretty much early. I kind of guessed it when he walked in because I was like, that man, I thought he looked like Jermaine, like the cheekbones, those Jackson cheekbones that is just undeniable. Like all of them have it. But I thought he looked like Jermaine's kids, but no, his Jackie's son, and so that's kind of cool. As somebody who grew up loving the Jackson 5, because my mom and my parents used to like the Jackson 5, and so we listened to Jackson 5 growing up. And then when I was growing up, Michael was everything. So Michael Jackson was everything, and Janet was everything. I went and saw her in concert, and so I'm like, "Oh, I love the Jackson." You just gotta love the Jackson family. You just gotta love the Jacksons. And so he was Michael Jackson's nephew, one of many, and yeah, he took it with grace and class and everything. He was just like, I was just going for what I thought, and because he had a conversation with Danny earlier in that day, and they talked that the cars on the clue wall, as well as um, the lightning bolt was for Lightning McQueen, and the voice of the call of Lightning McQueen, they said, was Owen Wilson, and that's how they came to that conclusion, but it was wrong. It was wrong. At this point, I don't think we with spoilers, but I'll say it now. I'm about to do some spoilers just in case. If you don't know who everyone is, I'm gonna give you my the ones that I've confirmed and then the ones that I'm still guessing on. But here we go. If you don't want to hear that, I'm gonna give you time to turn us off. I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe and button before you leave. And we appreciate you watching. But I'm about to start spoiling in 3, 2, 1. All right. So since they left, and those who wants to stick around and hear what we have for spoilers. So we've seen Danny's clue in this episode, and we all I've come to the conclusion that Mark Antony has got to be it. That makes sense to me. Definitely Mark Antony. Um, we've seen Mackenzie's clue, and for me, I'm 100% sure Trace Atkins is her person. The 6'6" country singer, there's not many of those, and Trace Atkins is the one. So I think her person is Trace Atkins. HUD was giving me problems up until a couple weeks ago, and now I'm very sure that John Mellencamp is his relative. Um, that was interesting. Um, Like I said, I wasn't sure about him for a while. He took a long time for me to figure it out, but once I figured it out, I'm like, makes sense. Adam's person was kind of throwing me, but then I started looking at this man and started listening to this man because he talks just like his celebrity relative. And then the clues that we were starting to get with the lightning bolt and then the mullet, none other. Then one of my favorite balladeers, Michael Bolton, and then he even said he wouldn't sing in the talent show because it would distinctly give him away of who his person is. So, and Michael Bolton has that voice that's very distinctive, like, "How am I supposed to live without you?" Yeah, okay. That's my very bad impression of Michael Bolton, but you know, it's a very, tight in the throat. No, I've been loving you so long. I love Michael Bolton. I am a fan of Michael Bolton. So, yeah. And then I was looking at him in this episode. I was like, man, the more I look at him, the more he looks like Michael Bolton. Put a mullet on that boy, he's Michael Bolton. But I wonder if he's like Michael Bolton's son or Michael Bolton's nephew. But he's very close in proximity to Michael Bolton. He's not like a cousin or, maybe I don't maybe grandson of Michael Bolton. I don't know, but very close in proximity to Michael Bolton. Um, then there we have Shane. Oh, I forgot to change it. Deidre's gone. Then we have Shane. Shane is the one who I'm still iffy about. And I'm after watching this episode, it really gave me nothing, but it gave me a little bit of something. I think. Oh, I don't know. I'm like, I want to say 50-50, but I don't think I'm even 50% sure. I think I'm like 35% sure that he's related. I think it's I think whoever the person is related to is like their grandfather. Not anybody like his father or uncle or anything. I think it's his grandfather. I feel like the clue to in this episode that gave it away for me that he might be somebody big. And I think it was the whole cannoli and spaghetti and, you know, that. I think he's related to someone who's Italian in the movie industry because he did say something about him knowing Elizabeth Taylor, him going to Neverland, and I'm like, "Oh, this man." I was thinking back, who would be close to Michael Jackson at Neverland, who was with Elizabeth Taylor and, in that time, and then I was thinking back to videos and cameos that Michael Jackson's had in his videos, which was a lot of famous people were in Michael Jackson's video. I mean, but in one particular video, he had, when I think it was Liberian Girl, where he had all the different celebrities in there, but I kinda think he's related, and I am not sure. This is just really, like, a really guess, and I'm like I said, I'm sure I'm like 35% sure, so it's not very I'm not very confident in this guess, but I think he's kinda related to, uh, Marlon Brando because that's the only person I can think of who is Italian, who's a big, huge not that there's not a lot of huge Italian stars, because it is, but who has close proximity to Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Jackson, and I feel like Marlon Brando back in the day was that person who has close proximity to Michael Jackson and Elizabeth Taylor. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just feel like Shane and the more I'm looking at this man, I'm like, maybe. Like, I feel like maybe, maybe, like, maybe he's, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Maybe or maybe it's his uncle or something. Maybe I don't know. I think if he's related to Marlon Brando, it's either, um, grandfather or uncle. But I don't know why Marlon Brando is like, it might change next week when I watch next week and watch another get more clues. But as of right now, my 35% assurance is he's related to Marlon Brando of some sort. But I could be wrong. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see, we will see. But that's it, y'all. That's all I got right now. Um, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Y'all tell me in the comments, do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Who do you think? Like I said, I'm pretty sure on the rest of them, not that sure on Shane, but I'm still doing my investigative duties and trying to figure this thing out. I love not going to like spoiler sites or whatever and just I want to play along with the show. And so I've been doing that this whole season and I'm enjoying it more. I love that I didn't know everybody right away and it was like, "Oh, this makes sense. This clue makes sense. This clue makes sense." So, I am enjoying the season. I know a lot of people were some people well, not a lot. Some people were saying that this isn't as exciting as, like, last season or the season 1. I think this season is doing really well. I enjoy watching this season. Watching the episodes are good for me. I know Imma come and talk to you guys about it, so I definitely look forward to watching it every morning, every Thursday morning when I get up. That's one of the first things I do is watch Claim to Fame Thursday mornings so I can bring all of this information to you. But I enjoy watching it and I look forward to it. So I hope you all are still having a great time watching and we're coming to a close, we're down our final five. It's so exciting. I feel like we just started. But it's been exciting. I can't wait to continue to watch it. I hope you all love it. And keep coming back watching me tell you all about what from my perspective. But I appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on your way out. Go check out our other channels in the description below. Click the links to all of our other channels and subscribe to them, our audio podcast channels as well, and our Patreon as well. So you can get early access and exclusive content. And if you could scroll down further, you get your cup merch. And yeah, we're gonna get out of here. So we appreciate you. I adore you. I appreciate you checking me out. And we're gonna get out of here. So cheers. Bye. Bye, y'all.